everyone, I'm Karissa from Shining Light in Minnesota. I have one of my dearest friends who I've known since I've been probably first grade, second grade, Lisa Price, with me from Rochester, Minnesota. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Chris. It's so great to see you after all these years.
Yes, it's been so long, but
I know.
from basketball to softball to everything, but let's tell everybody, you just had oral surgery. So
Yes,
let's tell
yes,
our
I
viewers
did.
a little bit about that, from the swollenness to the teeth missing. I've gone through that. I know it's horrendous. It's painful, it's embarrassing, it's all the things. I know, yes.
Yes. So, yes, I just had oral surgery on Thursday, so I'm still recovering. Face is a little swollen, missing some teeth.
Yep.
Not the most attractive, but you know what? It is what it is. It's
Yeah.
getting older.
Yep, and it's getting better, and it's, at least you're doing it. Yes, getting through it.
Exactly.
Yes. So we have you on today because I've heard your story multiple times. I've lived with you. I've been through it. I know it, and you are an amazing person, and you are in such an amazing place today. So I want to let everybody hear your story. Maybe they can take parts from it, take little nuggets from it, and let's kind of go back to the beginning, where it started. I mean, you're from Rochester, I'm from Rochester, and let's share that story a little bit with our viewers.
All right, perfect. Well, the story, where it all started.
I know.
Where it started and where I am today, very
Yes,
different places.
right.
So, as you know, grew up in Rochester, Minnesota, really into athletics.
Yes.
Was a big basketball player, loved playing softball,
Yeah.
baseball. Never did soccer.
No.
That was the one thing I missed.
Which it was kind of bigger in Rochester back in those days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? I don't know.
I didn't either, so yeah.
We were more of like the basketball.
Yeah,
were more,
we had all the other softball, basketball, yeah, baseball, whatever, football, whatever our brothers were doing, we were doing, I guess, probably,
Well,
right?
that was the thing. And
Yeah.
we were following what our brothers were doing.
Yeah.
Our brothers didn't play soccer, so we didn't play
No.
soccer.
Yep, we were an extension of them, just following their footsteps, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, grew up in Rochester, Minnesota.
Yeah.
3 older brothers, youngest. We went to St. John's, then went to Lourdes, and then we actually all in my family went on to University of St. Thomas.
Yep.
Not planned, it just kind of happened that way. But you know, when I was a young girl, I really struggled with my self-image and liking myself. And I don't know why. I mean, I had fantastic family. I had everything, you know, but it was just me. There was something in me that I just didn't like myself that much. And maybe it was the differences. I had really curly hair. And kids are kind of mean.
Yeah.
You know, people used to, you know, make comments like, remember the troll dolls?
Oh yeah, yep.
Oh yeah, people would make comments be like I look like a troll doll, or you know, you stick your hand in. Did she stick her hand in an electric socket and like her hair go all like that? So, and I was a sensitive kid.
But see, you had the curly hair, I had the straight hair. I wanted the curly hair where you wanted the straight hair, so it was like back and forth, yeah.
Right? You always want what you can't have.
Right, absolutely.
But so, in being the youngest with 3 older brothers, and we were a very how do I say the word? My family's fantastic.
The dynamics are amazing.
The dynamics is fantastic, and I really got noticed by my performances. Out of all the kids, I kind of pat myself on the back because I was the only girl, but I was the athlete of the family.
Yep.
If Jeff hears this, he might get a little snarky, being like, "Oh,
yeah, no, but you were, yeah. Jeff was a great athlete too, but yes, yeah.
Yeah. And so I got a lot of recognition for that, which I loved because I like attention.
Yeah.
And it started out as basketball, and loved basketball. It was if I could have been a WNBA player, give me I just needed like 4 or 5 inches.
They didn't really have that as much when we were younger, though, to really look up to. It was like the Michael Jordans, the Larry Birds, Charles Barkley.
My God, right? Loved them.
Yes.
Loved them. I mean, if you went into my room, it was like posters of all of them.
On my ceiling, on my walls. It wasn't like the actors, it was all the basketball players.
It was Michael Jordan.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, my height didn't help me very much in the basketball career. And what happened for me is I also started running when I was in junior high and had a little bit of success for it. And then in high school, I wasn't going to go out for cross country. I was actually going out for volleyball, and I got cut from the volleyball team. And so, lo and behold, decided to do cross country.
Yeah.
and went out for cross country, loved it. Great. Myron Glass was the coach.
Yep, he was basketball and cross country both, so they kind of correlated. Yep.
Exactly. And I started off and I got really good success. I was good. Yep. I was really good.
You were good.
And in doing that, though, you know, doing basketball compared to running, it's a lot different on the body. And so my body physique really drastically changed. And I got a lot of attention for it, and I loved it because I was very insecure about my body early on. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of getting the body that I always wanted. I wanted this runner's physique. And lo and behold, I took it a little too extreme. I, you know, really was not kind to myself looking back. I restricted quite heavily, and it just took on, it became something that I didn't even know. Yeah. I didn't have control over it. I thought I had control over it, but I didn't. And so having the loving and great parents that I did, they put me into treatment immediately, or they got me outpatient care right away to get a look on this. But you know, I'm this 15-year-old kid and I have doctors coming to me and stuff. And I'm kind of like, what, you know, I just didn't know what I didn't know.
Right.
And so I just wanted to run.
Right.
All I wanted to do was run. And so they told me as long as I didn't drop below a certain weight, I was allowed to run. And I kept it right at the red line.
Did you have a dream of wanting to go to the Olympics? Did you think that you were going to like proceed and
I
want
wanted to be an
Yeah.
I wanted to be an Olympian.
Yeah.
I was like, basketball isn't going to get me there, so I'm going to be an Olympian. And I mean, I don't want to act like this big head, but no, I was good.
Yeah,
like,
I know you were.
Good.
Yeah.
And I was good until I wasn't. And my junior year, things got a little bit too much. And I couldn't get my schoolwork done. My anxiety was so bad. And so what my parents decided to do is I ended up leaving school for a little bit and I went into treatment.
Yeah.
And a junior leaving school, kids don't know what they don't know. There's a lot of rumors going around. Some
kids
really
are mean.
kind, some really mean because people just don't know. They just, one day I was there and one day I wasn't there.
Right.
And while I was in treatment, this was my junior year, another top runner, we were in the A and the double A, another top runner in the double A actually entered in the right same time I did. And so here we are, the two top runners, the double A and the A, are all of a sudden gone from competition.
Yep.
No one knows, the coaches know, but no one else knows. And so the papers came to us, and the Pioneer
Press.
What was it? Pioneer Press. Yeah.
Yep.
They came and they asked to do a story on her, and then the Post Bulletin must have somehow gotten word where I was, and they did a story on me. And again, not knowing what you know,
right? Yeah.
They had this story, and the story was released the day I got out of treatment, which was also the day of the sectional invite.
Yikes.
And it's this full page paper. Our full page story, front page, and I didn't know it. And I'll never forget standing there, cheering people on, and people coming up to me, just random people just coming up to me, saying all these things. And I'm like,
like,
what's going on?
What am I missing here? Yeah.
What am I missing? And then I found out, the story was released. And then, you know, you'd think, it's this, you know, you're in the paper. That's so great. She's getting treatment for an eating disorders. That's so great. Mary and Jerry Price, we're so sorry to hear this about your daughter, but it sounds like she's on the mend and everything's going well. Karissa, it wasn't.
No.
I went into treatment as a 16-year-old, not even knowing anything. At that time, I was a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, not ready to make changes, just doing what you're doing.
Just doing what I'm doing. And I come out of treatment still just as confused as I have ever been. I'm not any better.
No.
I am not any better. In fact, I'm even worse.
Yep.
I went into treatment anorexic, and I came out of treatment bulimic. But all these people are around me, and I'm a people pleaser, and everyone's like, we hope you're getting better. Hope you're getting better. And so
that's making it worse. Right.
Yeah. I'm faking it. So I want to tell people what they want to hear. Thanks for the congrats. Where inside I'm beating myself up.
Right.
Like, you know, because I don't see myself the way other people's do.
Right.
I have a distorted body image.
Yeah.
And so it was just, that was a very I'm realizing now what a pivotal part of my life that was, because that's where a ton of lies and distrust started, because this happened my junior year, and then I go into my senior year, and this follows you because we're in a small town.
Oh, very small.
So, and I go to Lourdes High School, which is a very small high
Yep.
school, and I have to leave every single day for nutrition appointments,
Yep.
therapy appointments, doctor's appointments,
Yep.
because my parents are doing what you should be doing,
Right.
tracking a person with an eating disorder, and I'm keeping the red line.
Yep.
So, I'm not in it, and I am bulimic, so my
Yep.
blood levels are not good. And
You learn how to work the
very-
system pretty quick too.
And I learned how to work the system. So that was my high school. And I make it sound bleak and terrible, but there's so many wonderful things about high school too.
Right.
But just for like those girls out there that have, and boys, I don't
Yep.
want to
Right.
discriminate. The teenagers out there, I just didn't like myself.
Right.
I did not like myself. And the lying that I was doing just made me not like myself even more, because here, my dad was all about honesty.
Yeah.
My dad preached honesty. Just be honest. Just be honest. And my dad is a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
He's been sober now for 40 years.
Yep, amazing. I
Thank
know.
you.
Yes, I remember from way back in the day. Yes, that's so amazing. Yes.
And he was active in the AA community. I mean, he always went to his meetings. And so, he really believed in the 12 steps,
Yeah.
and he believed in honesty, and he would hit that with me. And I wanted to be the people pleaser, and I idolized my dad.
Yeah.
And so I never, I didn't want to lie, but yet when you're in an addiction, which an eating disorder is kind of an addiction.
It is. It's a cycle for sure.
Is
Yeah.
a cycle. All I was doing was lying. I was lying about how much I would exercise eat. I was
Yep.
lying about how much I was eating. In doing the things that are against your morals, you just kind of beat yourself up.
Yep.
Lo and behold, went on to college.
Yep.
Loved college. College
Yeah.
was a blast. Went
Yes.
to University of St. Thomas. And for me, the eating disorder I still had, but it morphed more into drinking at that time. But drinking at that time, I'm in college. That's what every kid
Right.
does.
But it numbs the pain
It
too.
drinking was my solution.
Yep.
All of a sudden, I took these drinks, and as soon as that alcohol hit me, I got this self-confidence that just was like, wow, I love the way I look.
Yeah.
And got this confidence, and was, this false confidence, but the confidence that I wanted so badly.
Yep.
That drinking gave me. And then when I drank, I did things I wasn't proud of. I was
Yep.
a little promiscuous. I
Yep.
made some stupid decisions, which again, then the self-hate, it's against my morals, and I can't be honest about the stuff. I didn't feel comfortable being honest about the stuff because
Yeah.
I felt so bad about what I was doing, and it just kind of went down into the self-hate.
Right.
Went through college, though. I had a fantastic college experience.
Right.
My daughter is going to be a freshman next year. She's going to San Diego State
I
University.
know, that's amazing. Yes.
I know. I'm so excited. for
Everybody
her.
has to live the college experience to get away, to do their
Yes.
thing, figure out who they are, because that's what
Yes.
morphs you to really who you are. Like getting away and doing the things and making food on your own and learning how to live with other people and just doing all those things. Yes.
For her, it's going to be waking up on her own.
Yeah.
Not having mom wake
Yep.
her up. Like
Making
three
like,
times a day.
I mean, even just the figuring out the food and getting to classes on time and just all that stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So went on to college, had a fantastic college experience, but still had the demons in me. But I was masked. I was a very high functioning person with an eating disorder, and at that time I wouldn't say alcoholic.
Right.
I would say I was just a college kid.
Yeah.
While I was in college, though, I still was getting treatment for the eating disorder.
Got it.
Eating disorders, I just learned, I was listening to a podcast this weekend, and only 6% of people with an eating disorder are underweight. Only 6%.
That's crazy.
That blew my mind.
That is crazy,
So
yeah.
94% of people with an eating disorder, you would have no idea looking at people if
Right.
you have no idea what they're struggling with.
Right.
It really baffled me.
Yeah.
It really just made me see you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
So I was really struggling with the eating disorder, very high functioning,
Yep.
but working out a lot. And the amount that I was working out, achieving what I was trying to achieve, I couldn't do it. My body would break. And so I went into treatment several different times in my early 20s.
Yep.
I had some really great experiences and I had some really low experiences.
Right.
And then I would say in 2009, things really changed for me. I had a daughter in 2008. In 2009, that summer, I was married and I kind of hit a really low spot in my life. And I went again into treatment for alcohol at this time. We did not address the eating disorder. The eating disorder just ran rampant. I mean, I was that girl in treatment and I had them convinced that I was allowed to run loops around the air. I mean, it was crazy, Karissa, looking back at it. But I got sober.
Right.
And I found the 12 steps.
Amazing.
And it was so healing. It was so healing. I was able, all of these deep, dark secrets that I had about myself, these resentments I had about other people, I got them off my chest.
Which helps
and
a
that
lot.
healing that I got from it, it's like I started to like myself again. And it was really cool how my life was starting to go off. I was married. I had started a business with my sister-in-law. I had this beautiful daughter. We were living in Rochester. Life was going really well. I had some hiccups earlier in my 20s, but things are going on. Until they weren't.
Right.
And that's the one thing that I want to say to everyone. You have to continue doing work. And what I did is I kind of got complacent. I stopped doing the work on myself. And what happened to me is in 2013, I relapsed. And when I relapsed, it was a very, very, again, secretive. Didn't want anyone to know. And it just became something that happened one time, turned into a bigger thing.
Got it.
And what happened was it led to is my husband and I at that time decided to move to Colorado. We had lived in Rochester. I was born and raised in Rochester. He lived in South St. Paul. We're like, Minnesota winters, we're over it. Let's go to Colorado. And, in my head, I'm thinking overbearing family. We're going to go do a geographical change. I'm not doing that well. Maybe this is new environment. Everything's going to magically fix itself.
Remake myself. Let's just do this.
Exactly. So came out to Colorado and just downfall. Just now having no accountability, no one here. My drinking took off. The eating disorder took off. And before you know it, my marriage ended. So now I'm a single mom, again, trying to keep up with the Joneses, have a good look at, everybody on the outside. I don't want them to worry. I have this great front going on, but behind the scenes, it's pretty damaging.
Right.
Not a lot of good stuff is going on here. And doing things that are not the best things to be doing. And again, what happened is a lot of self-hate, and it just continued to come on top. And the only way I knew how to feel better was to exercise. And then I'm exercising so much, and I'm out here in Colorado, and Colorado is where elite athletes go, right?
Right. Oh, for sure.
So now my dream of being an Olympian, we're going to make this a reality.
So
when I moved out to Colorado, I joined an elite training group.
Oh boy, here we go.
Didn't tell the coach my history. Brad Hudson was the coach. He somehow believed enough in me, or I was somehow manipulated him enough to believe I was going to be the up and next coming thing, that he allowed me to join his group of athletes, which, let me say right now, I was at the bottom. I mean, he had Olympians. I mean, these women are amazing, amazing athletes. But I came into the group, and now I'm thinking to myself, my dream's coming true. I can now become an Olympic athlete. Well, the problem is, I still don't have the eating disorder under control.
Right.
And I'm still drinking a crap ton. So how am I going to perform doing these things? So doing the best I can, which isn't very good, and not fueling my body the way it should be, and overtraining, I'm getting injured. I can't keep up with what he wants me to do. And so I hurt myself,
Yeah.
I'm constantly dealing with one injury after another injury after another injury. And
Yeah.
then again, the self-hate. So now I can't exercise the way I want to exercise. And Karissa, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was not a fun place to be in, and no one wants to be in that place.
Right.
So I'm trying to hold on to what are things about myself that I like about myself. So now I meet this man, sweeps me off my feet.
Yep.
I've always loved kids, loved family. He has 2 boys, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is it. This is perfect. Bridget can now have brothers. I can have the family. Everything's fantastic.
Yep.
So we get married, and now I'm going to become the mom.
Yep. I've got all the things now. I've got everything. Yep. I'm the Joneses now. Everybody can keep up with me. Yep.
Exactly. And my husband, he was very attractive. The boys were great looking. My daughter, picture perfect people looking on the outside. We were the great family, but
Yep.
no one really knew what was going on the inside.
Right.
And I did the best I could with where I was at. I looking back at that now, I always wanted to be a role model to my daughter.
Yeah.
And what was sad is what I would say to my daughter is, don't do what mommy's doing.
Right.
What mommy, I was always would tell people, I'm very upfront with my daughter. She knows everything that's going on. Yeah, I'm telling her, don't do what mommy does.
Right.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not being a role model. I'm being terrible.
Because your dad would always tell you you're beautiful. He would instill that in you and all of us when we were younger too. Like, you guys are gorgeous, you're beautiful, like keep being smart, doing good things, making good choices, all the things,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And, I had to take a big look at myself in the mirror, and I realized, wow, I am not living the way I want to live. And so life goes on. So, take back, let's say this is back now in 2016, and I'm married, and on the outside, again, everything looks great, but internally, I'm really, really struggling.
Yeah.
And being not telling anybody what's really truly going on. I am lying to everyone. I'm seeing a therapist. I'm not even being honest to this therapist. I'm telling her what she wants to hear.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I just couldn't keep doing it anymore, and I didn't know what else to do. And unfortunately, I became suicidal. There were a couple times that I tried to not be here anymore, and I hate that I did that, but I did that. Obviously, thankfully, it didn't happen.
Right.
But it just shows how low of a place I was at.
Right.
I was very, very low. And I think there's a lot of people out there that can relate to this, and they just don't say it.
Yep.
And it's not okay to be in that place. And when you're in that place, trying to get out of that place seems impossible.
Yeah.
I know it did for me. What kept me going during that time was my daughter.
Right.
It was 100% my daughter, and just kept thinking, wait a second, I can't do this. I'm like, they say when somebody is in that low, they don't know what else to do.
Right.
And so my heart goes out for those people. Yet at the same sense, the family and the loved ones, oh my God, the pain that it puts on those people as well. It's terrible for everyone.
They're going to have to live with your choices is kind of the thought process. Yeah.
Right. And for whatever reason, I was able to hang on to my daughter, and not wanting her. I'm like, God, she can't go through high school, graduation, and not have a mom. I don't want her to have her. And I was thinking in my head, okay, I'll get her through, like, this is the way my head was thinking.
Yeah.
I'll get her through high school, and then I can do it. Well, then I'm like, no, she's going to need me in college. And then, no, she's going to need me when she gets married. And then, no, she's going to need me if she has it. So it's like, I kept progressing it and progressing, being like, I can't do it.
Well, just thank goodness.
And so then I knew I needed help.
Yep.
And so this was in the fall of 2024. I'm 44, 45. Help me with ages here. And, premenopausal.
Yep.
And I'm thinking I'm just crazy.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just
Because you left your husband and his 2 boys, so it was just you and Bridget when you were going through that, correct?
Well, so I had left my husband and those two boys back in 2022. So
Okay.
when Bridget was going into her freshman year of high school, I moved out.
Okay.
And we were going to get divorced, and it didn't happen. We ended up rekindling, and I moved back into the house end of her freshman year, going into her sophomore year. So now at this time, I'm still in the house. So
Got it.
this is now Bridget's junior year. So
Okay,
the fall
got
of
it.
Bridget's junior year,
Yep.
and I'm in the house.
Got it.
And not in a good marriage. At this point, I'm drinking. And in my later time in life, like after 2009, when I got sober, and then in 2013, when I relapsed, in 2016, I got sober again for a couple of years.
Yep.
And then I relapsed again in 2018. And those relapses from 2018 until 2025, early 2025, it wasn't like an everyday type drinking.
Right.
It was like once every 6 months.
Sporadic.
And then
Yep.
I'd go 9 months, and
Yeah.
then I'd go 3 months. But the problem is when I would drink, my husband at the time really threw it in my face. So instead of it being, God, I'm really sorry that let's go get you some help. Instead, it was like, we got to call Bridget. Did you know your mom just relapsed? We got to call your dad. I mean, we made it a bigger production than what it was. And I don't want to put words into his mouth, because for him, I can imagine it was very frustrating. So it just wasn't handled very well. But
Yeah.
what it did for me was it just created so much more self-hate.
Yeah.
And so in 2024, I'm thinking now, maybe it's menopause. I'm perimenopause.
Yep, for sure.
Everybody talks about when you go through that stuff, your hormones are all over the place.
Yep.
I know the answer of why I'm crazy. I
That's
just
what
need
it
to get
is.
on hormones.
Yep. Let's do some hormone replacement then. Let's do something. Yeah.
Exactly. So went to my family doctor, and she put me on hormones. And this was in the fall. I'm thinking, okay, everything's going to be okay. I think it helped a little bit,
Right.
but it didn't. It didn't. And so now I'm going back, and it's December of 2024. And I'm like, listen, I'm not getting any better.
No.
And I'm like, maybe I've been on these SSRs for so long, maybe we need to replace them or take a look at them. She's like, that's a great idea. Let's get you set up with a psychiatrist. So I made an appointment with a psychiatrist and had my meds looked at.
Yep.
And I went to this place, and I'm going to plug them because I owe so much of my recovery to them.
Yep.
I went to Serenity Mental Health Systems. I went to their location in Superior, Colorado.
Yep.
And I walked in, and I met with a psychiatrist. And the first thing I noticed in meeting with a psychiatrist was it was a person that just looked like you. It was like I was going to meeting with a friend.
Yeah.
And I was like kind of taken aback, because my history and my experience with psychiatrists is, they were
It's Mayo
suits,
Clinic.
ties.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, almost untouchable. Like they are. I'm so beneath them.
Right.
Is honestly how I felt. And now I'm meeting with a psychiatrist that I'm on the same level with.
Right.
Or I felt like, I shouldn't say that. I felt like I was on the same level with.
Yeah.
And she sits me down in her office, and we go through my history and my meds. And then she's like, "Have you just thought of alternative methods?" And I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, alternative methods, huh? And then at that time, she explained to me this thing called TMS. And TMS, and I'm not a doctor,
Right.
so I'm going to get a lot of this stuff wrong.
But explain it in your own words, and that's what people
me
need to know. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, explaining it, what TMS is this transmittal therapy through the neurons in your brain. And so I went, and what she said to me is it's like a 38 time, and it might not even be 38 days. It could be 35 or 30, somewhere in there, but it's 38 times you go 5 days a week, and they're 20-minute sessions. And when you go in, you have a technician that meets with you.
Yeah.
What they do is they put a cap over your head, and the cap, they put the cap over your head, and then after they put the cap over your head, it's almost like you're going into a dryer at those hair salons.
Oh, got it. Yep.
So then another thing comes over your head, and it's like a tapping. So it's almost like a woodpecker, and it's a tapping. And from my understanding, it's changing the neurons in your brain. And so it's kind of changing the way you think. And so she was telling me the studies have shown fantastic help with people with PTSD, people with trauma, people with severe depression, even women going through menopause. I
Yeah.
mean, she just had all these fantastic things to tell me about. So I'm like, why not? Let's
All right,
just
let's
try
try
this.
it. It's alternative. Let's do it. Yeah.
Alternative and did it. So we did it. I was lucky that my insurance, not all insurance companies, and it is a bit of a cost. And I was lucky that my insurance covered it at the time. Knowing what I know now, if my insurance didn't cover it, I would 100% do it again.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. But so we started with these sessions, and I'd go in every day for 20 minutes. And it's just a commitment too.
Yeah.
I mean, because now I'm driving from my house to, I mean, it's about an hour and 15-minute commitment of me to do every single day.
Yeah.
But I commit to it. And I start going, and within about 2 weeks, I kind of start noticing a change. And the changes are subtle. And what the changes are, I'm naturally a very high energy, positive person.
Yeah.
And I fake it really well. And I can tell when I'm faking it and when I'm not faking it. And to keep up the front, I was always faking it. And all of a sudden I realized, oh, I'm not really faking it that much anymore. It's not that hard, and getting out of bed is a little easier. And so within 2 weeks, I'm kind of noticing this difference. And I'm more up. It's like I'm kind of feeling like myself again, and it feels really good.
So when you were like going through all your things, you used to like to sleep. Did you sleep a lot, like when you were going through everything?
Karissa, that I when I moved back. So as I had said, I moved out from my husband when my daughter was a freshman. I believe it was 2022, her freshman year. And when I moved back into the house, I think it was 2023, that summer, that's when the sleep got really bad.
Got it.
And I didn't know how to survive. And so my coping, how I knew how to cope was to shut it off. I shut everything off, which was for me was to go to sleep. So here I had come back into this relationship that I didn't want to be in, but I didn't know how not to be in it.
Right.
And so, I slept. I mean, I was either sleeping or exercising. Or, trying to be this fake person to people that were coming over.
Which is exhausting in itself.
And I couldn't not get out of bed. Like I just couldn't. I remember like Bridget would go to school and I'd be like, God, I got to start working. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go lay down for 10 or 15 minutes. And that 10 or 15 minutes turns into a couple of hours. So fast forward, I lost my job.
Right.
I got fired from my job because I wasn't performing. I mean, they didn't know I was sleeping. I wasn't telling them what was truly going on.
Right.
They looked at me from a performance standpoint. We're like, you're not hitting your numbers. And I was always a top performer. I mean,
you're right. Oh, of course.
Always.
Well, because when you do everything at 150%, it's just like you go and you do it and you fake it and you just keep going. Yeah. You're crushing it. Yeah.
Yes. And so all of a sudden, like things were really starting to hit.
Yeah.
Like I was really starting to see the effects of my mental health. It wasn't good.
When you moved out, did you move back home, or where did you move when you moved out?
So when I moved out from my ex the first time, we moved into a townhome.
Got it. Yeah.
And I will say that year was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
I was doing. Yeah. It was fantastic until I went back.
Right.
And then went back into the house, and then it was it was 2024. So it was now 2025. Yes, it was. Oh my God, just happened.
Yeah.
So it's now January of 2025. I'm doing the TMS.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm starting to like myself a little bit.
Yeah.
And I had a friend living with me. I took a friend in because I want to help everyone, Karissa.
Yeah.
You don't even want to know how many people I have taken in.
Right. It's like, this worked for me. Let's just keep it going. Yep.
I'm not going to look at myself. I'm going to fix everyone else, and I can just stay.
You're
I'm
a fixer.
really good at fixing people.
Yeah.
Not good at fixing myself. But so, had a friend living with me. Having all the attention on her, not having to look at myself, not looking up. See, I'm doing the TMS treatment, getting my head right.
Yeah.
but I'm still at this time, I'm really deep in with the eating disorder and I'm in total denial.
Right.
Total denial. I mean, I am working out. I mean, there were periods of, it's a, I don't even want to say the number because it's so, I mean, I was running over 200 miles a week for 10, 15, 20 years. I mean,
Yeah.
it was the amount of stress I was putting on my body.
Yeah.
And I normalized it, and I normalized it to my kids.
Yeah.
Is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But so she's living with me in January. I'm going through these TMS treatments, and a change is coming in me, and I'm starting to like myself again. And I'm starting to realize I'm in an environment where I'm not being treated very well. And I knew this before.
Yeah.
It's not like it all of a sudden came. I've always known this. I just
Right.
didn't have a voice.
Right.
And now all of a sudden I'm getting a voice. And I'm realizing I need to make a change. And it's just amazing how the universe works. So I have my friend living with me. We get her into treatment. She goes to an acute place here in Denver for eating disorders. It's almost like an intensive care unit.
Yeah.
But she went into this unit to stabilize her in health so she could be okay to go to an inpatient place later on. So she stabilizes, and it's March 4th, 2025, and she's ready to go on to an inpatient place, which is in Arizona.
Amazing.
And she can't travel alone. So of course I volunteer to go with her, and we're
Yep.
going to Wickenburg, Arizona to take her to treatment. And rewind, when I was 25 years old, I went to Wickenburg, Arizona.
So you were
as well.
familiar with it. You knew the place. Yeah.
I knew. I'm
Yep.
like, oh, the horses are going to be there.
Woohoo. Yep. I'm going back to the place I know.
Going back to the
Yep.
place I know. So take her there, drop her off, and then I decided that, I spent a day there in Chandler because after I was in Wickenburg, I did a step down program there, and I actually lived there for about 6 months. And so I stayed at a hotel right where the house that I lived in Chandler is no longer there. They
Yep.
redeveloped that area, but it was still right by that area. And that next morning I went for a run, and it's like, I can't explain it. It was, so I had ran those streets over and because in 2020, when I was
Yeah.
25 and I lived there, the eating disorder was still strong.
Yep.
And so I was still exercising.
Oh, for sure.
Back then. But here, fast forward now at March of
20 years later.
March
Yep.
of last year,
Yep.
I go on the same run, and the places have changed a lot, and they haven't. And there was a church, and I used to always run in Arizona's hot. And so I used to always stop at this church, and I used to always go in and use the bathroom and get water. And I stopped at this church, and I'm Catholic, and I'm a non-practicing Catholic, but I was born and raised Catholic. I have a very strong spiritual faith. I don't want to get into religions
Right.
because
That's a
topic.
rabbit hole. That's, yep.
Exactly. But I do feel a lot when I go into a church and I pray that really is something that comforts me.
For sure.
And so for whatever reason, I went into that church and I prayed. And I came out of that church and I continued running, and things just kind of started coming out of me. And I'm like, God, I remember being here when I was 25 and I was going so great with my health. I had, I was in eating disorder treatment. Yes, I was still exercising, but I wasn't purging. I was at a healthy weight. I wasn't drinking. Recovery from an eating disorder isn't, straight. It's up and down.
Yep.
And I was on my road to recovery, and my outlook of life back then, I was going to take over the world.
Yep. You're crushing it. Yep.
Fresh, and I was, when I got out when I was 25, I was, and then I wasn't, and
Right.
just kind of, it gave me a good reflection of where my life is at right then,
Right.
and what I wanted my life to be at, and it was not what I wanted. And I am a firm believer is you can make a change if you want to make the change.
You can.
People can change if they're willing to do the work. And
Yeah.
it finally hit me that I'm ready to do this work. I'm ready to change. And I do want to say, throughout these years from when I got divorced, or my husband and I first separated in 2014 until 2024, I never gave up hope in myself.
Right.
There was always this little thing in me that had hope, but I
Mm-hmm.
just wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
I just wasn't. I needed what I was doing to survive. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the tools to survive in another way. So I knew one day I would, but I just wasn't ready then. And
Right.
I was ready. I was finally ready. And I left that trip. I came home, and that day I told my husband I wanted a divorce and that we're done.
Yep.
And you can imagine that was just, again, an up and down type
Yep.
thing. And I moved out of the house a little dramatically
Yep.
in April.
Yep. That's okay. You know you, and
Uh,
you know you're your person now,
yeah,
though. You've got soul to you. You're like, all right, I'm me now. I can
yep.
do this.
I did, and I was in a hotel room. Because I didn't have any place to live. And my Bridget's father and I are fantastic friends, and we get
Good.
along great. And he asked me, come stay with me, but he's in a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I can't
no.
stay with you.
Yep.
So I got a hotel, and I lived in a hotel for a week until I was able to find a place for Bridget and I to move to, because she's now. I mean, I'm uprooting her. It's April of her junior year.
Yep.
I'm completely uprooting her. And she's got finals, so I need to find a place for her. But then I also need to know, more importantly, what am I going to do?
Right.
I need to now change, and I am now ready to change.
Yep.
And I wasn't working at the time because I had lost my job that summer.
Yep.
And so thank God the support of my family, because there's so many women that don't have that support.
Correct.
And thankfully I was able to lean on my family for support.
Yep.
And I threw everything I knew into recovery.
Yeah.
And the day I walked out of the house was the last day I had a drink. So April
Amazing.
7th, 2025 is my sobriety
Yay.
date. So now it's April 27th,
Yep.
2026.
Yep.
So I have a year and
Woohoo.
10 days.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah, and my life started to change for the better, and it wasn't easy.
No.
It was freaking hard, Karissa.
Right.
It was so hard. And, I got a little worse before I got better, and I think that's kind of how eating disorders go.
Right.
I was finally able to be honest with myself and honest with my family, and I was like, I can't do this on my own.
Right.
I would love to be able to do this on my own, but at this point, I have a lot of weight to restore, and I really need to stop these exercise symptoms.
Right.
So I wanted to go back. I was heavily bulimic from the age of 17 until 2017.
Yep.
And throughout my journey, I stopped throwing up July 24th of 2017.
Got it.
And so when I hit that milestone in my head, I told myself I was cured of the eating disorder.
Of course.
So even though I wasn't,
No.
I told myself I was. So if people are wondering, well, she's working out like this, but I believed I was,
Right.
because I was no longer
I'm not throwing up anymore. I'm good. I've got this now. Yeah.
I've got this now. And you have everybody outside, people love a thin person.
Right.
My
That's the
husband at the
society. That's
time-
the culture. That's what they want. Right.
Yeah, and my husband at the time really liked thin, and so he just listen. I had an eating disorder way before I met him,
Right.
and I would have had an eating disorder without meeting him. But when you're in an environment that's supporting your negative habits,
Right.
you just keep doing the negative habits. And I was in an environment that was very much supportive of the bad things I was doing.
Right.
And I had convinced myself that I was cured.
Right.
I didn't think exercise was a big deal. I didn't think being low weighted, because society tells us it's okay.
Right.
But so then fast forward now, so it's 2025, spring of 2025, May. And I'm realizing that I need more support on doing this. I'm not going to be able to do it on my own. And so that's when I looked into, again, eating disorder treatment. And let me tell you, Karissa, at this time, I'd been in 12 treatments.
Right.
I'm 47 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, the shame that I have on myself, really, I'm going to go back again.
Yeah.
Number 13. I
Right.
mean, that was hard.
Right.
But as hard as it was, I'm so glad I did it.
Yep.
And if people are out there struggling, just do it.
Because even if you're an old
sucking-
lady or an older person going in now, they don't care about the age. They don't care about the age. No.
These diseases, they don't care who you are.
No.
It affects a 15-year-old just as much as it does a 60-year-old.
Or an 80-year-old. There's a lot of older people that have it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the people that I've had, I mean, I've been struggling with this since I don't know life. I do not know what life is like without having an eating disorder.
Right.
I do not know what it's like to be at this time, I don't know what it's like to be in an adult body because I never had an adult body. Sure, I gave birth to Bridget, but I stayed in that for a very little bit of time.
Right.
So now I have to figure out, navigate to this body I'm used to into now what a healthy body looks like. So I went and got treatment.
Right.
And I went to a place in Boulder called La Luna, and I did an outpatient. I did a PHP, so a partial hospitalization program.
Yeah.
It was advised that I went inpatient, but for me, I didn't want to do that because one, I didn't want to leave my daughter,
Right.
and two, I'm really good at treatment.
Yeah.
I'm really good.
You've been through them enough times that you just know how they work.
I've been through it. I know the system.
Yeah.
I go in, I make best friends with everyone. I do what I need to do, and then I get out, and that's
You could teach the system probably. Yeah.
Yes. So I knew I needed to. I needed to do it a little differently, and I also knew that I couldn't have someone telling me not to work out.
Right.
And I was very upfront. Exercise had been my problem from the beginning.
Right.
And so you go into these treatment places and they're doing what they're supposed to do and cut off activity, which is the right thing to do.
Right.
But for someone like me, they've always cut off activity. I found other ways to get around it.
Right.
And so I was honest with them and I said, listen, this is where I'm at. I would love to be here, but I'm not there yet. And
Right.
I need you to work with me at getting to this place.
Right.
And when I went in, I never, ever thought I would get to be where I am today.
Yep.
So thank you so much for La Luna for working with me.
Yeah.
It was not easy.
Right.
It was very hard, but they were able to work with me and I was able to slowly progress to where I am today.
Right.
Very unconventional,
Yeah.
but it worked. And I think for me, what happened was me, if I look back of everything, like what was the thing that changed? What changed? And it was like, I started to like myself. I really just started to like myself.
Yeah.
And that all happened, I think, with the TMS.
Yeah.
And it then I stopped drinking. So now I'm not doing things that I don't dislike. I'm
Right.
fighting the eating disorder. So now the role model that I want to be, I'm becoming that role model.
Yeah.
A big part of it is too, I'm feeding myself.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't realize how much I was starving myself,
Yeah.
how malnourished I was. And when you're malnourished, your brain doesn't think
Right.
properly.
For sure.
So getting the food to help my brain think. And then two, I was just rechanging the things that I had told myself before.
Yep.
Before I told myself thin, thin, thin. And now I reprogram that and it's no longer thin, it's healthy.
Right.
I want to be a role model. I want to be a healthy. Who cares what my body looks like?
Right.
Who freaking cares? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
No.
I'm in this thing. What matters is me.
Yep.
What matters is how I'm showing up for people.
And that you are showing up. Yeah.
And that I am showing
Yeah.
up. And throughout the progress, there's ups and
Yeah.
downs.
And there's going to
it's
be more of
pretty
those. A lot of big things.
Yes.
Bridget going to
There
school
are.
and the weddings and all the things yeah.
Bridget's going to, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I'm in another transition of my life. It's like I'm glad I am at where I'm so happy I am where I am now. But
Yeah.
in a couple of months from now, it's going to be another
And you
big
get to reinvent
transition.
yourself again. Like you
Yeah.
by yourself. Like, let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah. What's this next phase? But I am so grateful at is I did a lot of work this last year. I did a lot of work on myself. I invested wholly in myself. It wasn't fun. It wasn't pretty. But I'm on the other side of it. And it feels so fantastic to
Amazing.
be on that other side.
Yeah.
And what I'm finding is just sharing my story
Yeah.
with other people. There's so many people out there that struggle and they don't say anything.
Right.
let's start saying something.
You have to be open.
It's-
You have to be honest. You have to be
Yeah.
honest with yourself first before you can be honest with other people. And even just taking
Yeah.
little nuggets from people and like, okay, how did you get to where you are today? Or how, how were people like when you were going through the suicidal stuff? Like how was treatment going through that? Just the little things that people don't understand and see,
And also, I don't want to normalize it, but I do want to normalize it. Everybody goes through downs in their lives.
They do.
Maybe not as extreme.
Everybody has a
But
story to tell.
everybody has a story to tell, and everybody's story is valid.
Right.
And everybody's story, and you're seen, you're heard.
Yeah.
Life is hard.
Right.
Life is hard, but you know what? As people, as humans, we can get through hard things.
Yep.
We can do hard things, and for me, what I had to learn is, with an eating disorder, it's almost like you have two voices. I had the eating disorder voice and I had the healthy Lisa voice. And
Right.
for me, I really had to put a name on that eating disorder.
Yep.
Because it's so believable.
Right.
It's
Oh,
so,
for sure.
and I still struggle with it.
Right.
I mean, it's not like it's gone away.
No,
I
for
still
sure.
have
And
that
it's always
voice.
probably going to be there. It always will be
Yeah.
there.
It's just a lot. It's not as loud.
Right.
It's not, and so I know I can choose the healthier voice, but
Right.
I know I have to keep going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And some days, I might exercise a little too much.
Right.
And I have to take a look at myself and, okay, so I did that one day. Let's acknowledge it. I did that. No, tomorrow, let's make it better.
Yep.
What I think the problem would come into where I need to be heavily aware of myself is that one day, I exercised too much this day.
Yeah.
And then I exercised too much this day.
Be aware of it.
And it keeps building and building and building. That's where then I think you can go back and look at a possible relapse. And
Yeah.
that's where I have very healthy people in my life to keep me aligned.
Yep.
And so that's, road to recovery, it's
Up and
like
down,
this, and
yeah.
I'm in the process of doing it.
So eating now, you're able to go out and share meals with Bridget and do all those things too. Tell people a little bit about that and how amazing that is.
It's just it's like I missed out on life.
Yeah.
Bridget and I went to Charleston for mother-daughter, and we celebrate our birthday. Our birthdays are in January, so
Yeah.
over President's Weekend, we went to Charleston together. And we love traveling. And,
Yeah.
Ever since she's a little girl, I've traveled everywhere. But, food, I always loved getting dressed up. And,
Yeah.
we love
Fancy
looking all
things, yeah,
fancy
yep.
And,
Yeah.
going out and stuff. But the food part, I never really liked.
Right.
And now it's so fun.
We're
It's
going to go
like,
on a
God,
food
I've been
trip. Let's do
missing it.
this, yeah.
Exactly. And it's like just trying the different things and actually enjoying it. And I think the biggest thing is giving myself permission.
Mm-hmm.
Giving myself permission that who cares?
Yep.
I am on vacation.
Yep.
If I want to have, we'd go out, we ordered 2 or 3 desserts because we're dessert people.
Yeah. Yes, of course, right? You've got to try it. You've got to do it because for so long you can't, and it's all the sweets.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
So, that's just sharing meals with her, and
Yeah.
it brings a different bonding together.
Right.
And it, with her, it's like it's showing her. So, in her younger years, I wasn't the best role model.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't change that. It is what it is, but I can talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't have to, we can talk about it, and I can say, yes, that I was not healthy at that time. I was not being a good role model, but now look at what we're doing.
We're
now.
making new memories now. We're starting fresh. Let's,
Exactly.
we went to Charleston and we had those desserts and we split. You had one thing, I had another, and we shared it. Let's, yeah.
Let's do that again.
Let's try it again. Let's go somewhere new. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
see, my biggest thing is her and her friends.
Mm-hmm.
These young women they have everything in
Yes.
front of them.
Yeah.
But the one thing they have holding them back, like all of us do, is our own. It's
Our own
ourselves.
getting inside our head.
It's it's us getting inside our head.
Mm-hmm.
It's us. So it's like, trying now, the best I can do is talk about the things that are in your head.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my daughter constantly is talk about it. And the things we tell ourselves are the things we're going to believe. Like for so long, I told myself these mean things.
Mm-hmm.
God, I would never say that to anyone. So why is that okay to say it to myself? But yet I said it was okay. I'm building, I'm stronger than people. I'm this, so I can be mean to myself.
Yeah. Being self-conscious. Like, yes, everybody's self-conscious, but you have to
and
live with who you are too.
self-aware.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like stop looking at yourself in the mirror and stop telling yourself you're stupid and stop.
Right.
I mean, I struggled really bad with learning disabilities when I was younger.
Yep.
So on top of the body issues I had, I also, I was dumb,
Right.
and in grade school, St. John's, back in the day, and it's still an issue today. I
Right.
mean, we're in the school system that's in this box.
Right.
And as long as you fit in the box, you're fine. But what about these learners that learn outside
Well, you had
the box?
categorized testing, and if you weren't in that
Yeah.
category and you were below it, then you were somebody else.
Considered dumb.
Yep, yep. Yeah.
And it's such a shame of how, and what's sad is we do it today to these
Right.
young kids.
Same
And
goes with
kids
school,
just-
with SATs, with
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, yep.
Kids learn differently. Just because you might not be good at standardized testing doesn't mean you're dumb.
Yep.
You just need a different method. And
Yep.
it's, as the world evolves, as AI comes into play, as different learning methods, I mean, I hope it gets better for these kids
Yeah.
because we don't all fit into a box,
Right.
And that doesn't mean, since you don't fit inside that box, that doesn't mean you're better or worse than anyone else.
Do you feel like when you grew up, and this is kind of probably where I'm at too, having older brothers kind of molded you to where you are today, following in their footsteps? I mean, I can say, I had older brothers that were athletes, and I got burnt out. So that's why I went into the golf world. Like, it gets to be a lot, and it makes you who you are, and you kind of go through those following in their footsteps. You're the youngest, you're the girl, you do your things. But yeah, it's one of those, it makes you who you are. I can say that. It makes you who you are, and you live and learn, and yes, you kind of want to be your own self. But you are an athlete, just like I am, and it pushes you to your limits too.
It pushes you to your limits.
It's a tough kind of conundrum, right?
It is a conundrum. In living in the family I live in, and I think with anyone, I got recognition for things I was doing.
Yep.
So as long as I was a doer,
Right.
I kept getting recognition.
Right.
And that kind of built me who I was.
Yeah.
So I will say, relearning now at this age, it's like, so who am I without doing?
I wanted to make a name for myself, probably like you did, like you have a name that you had to follow because you were the youngest and your own person. So that's why I stopped playing basketball, because it's a burnout. And I have other people to follow from the basketball name. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do something completely on my own. I'm going to go play golf.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it to the nth degree, and I'm going to do it the best I can, and that's my thing, and that's still to my day, that's why I do what I do. It's an individual sport. Nobody can make my name like I can. Yeah.
Well, and I think for me that was running.
Yeah.
That was the one thing in my family that I had over everyone was running.
Yeah.
And I, to this day, absolutely love it. And I need to figure out, my relationship with running has changed drastically.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning how to have more of a healthy relationship.
And
But
Bridget does running.
That.
Tell people about that too.
Yes. So Bridget, oh God, I love her.
Yes.
So I never pushed Bridget into it when she was little. No. We would just do it for fun. And she was always good at it. Mm-hmm. She never wanted to admit it, but she was always good at it. But I never pushed her. Let her do whatever she wanted to do. And
she plays golf. Yes.
And she's a golfer.
Yes.
She is a golfer. But
it's all the outside things. I think that's healing. It really is. It's a healing benefit. Getting outside, doing your thing individually. Yeah. Yes.
And for me, it's like having her. So she started running on her own really last year, and she started to really get into it over this last year. And she put a goal for herself that when she graduates from high school, she wanted to do a half marathon.
Yeah.
And so of course, I'm like, oh, yes,
of course. Let's do. Anybody that follows a little bit in your footsteps, just sample out. It's like, oh yes. My youngest is playing golf a little bit, and I'm like, of all the kids, yes, please just do it some, finally.
Yes, yes. So I told her, I was like, yes, absolutely, let's do a half marathon.
Yeah.
And so for her graduation gift, we're going to do a trip in Europe. And so what we're
Yay.
doing is we're starting off Europe. We're going to Iceland, and she's running a
Amazing.
half marathon. We'll
Woohoo!
do it together.
Oh,
But she's
my
running
whole
her
heart.
first half marathon in
Yes.
Iceland.
Amazing. How fun.
I know, I know.
Oh,
And it's so fun, like watching. It is so cool watching her train, and like I understand the progression, and like now she's up to running 9 miles,
yeah.
and seeing, and that's not easy, that's
No, that
hard.
is hard. Very
And
hard.
seeing her do it and push herself in a healthy way,
Mm-hmm.
and that, like, oh, that you can just see it coming inside of how proud she is of herself.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
I'm
that
doing
just,
it. I'm finally doing it. Yes. Yeah.
yes, I'm finally doing it, and we're doing it in a healthy way.
Yeah, which
She's
is
doing
important.
it, yes, in a very it's not regimented. I don't know if that's the right word I'm using. It's just, it's very unconventional training. Let's
Yeah.
just put it that
Good.
way. She runs 2 days a week.
Okay. Good. Good. Yes.
So, so
Perfect.
it's but yeah, watching her do that, oh, it's so fun. It's
Amazing.
I never, life right now is just awesome.
And
I
you're
mean,
working.
I'm working. Yes, I
Yes.
started. So, I joined a startup company. So entrepreneurship is in my family,
Yeah. Very much
and
so.
I've been in tech since I graduated from college, and I've always kind of wanted to get into MedTech.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend approached me that had started his own company, kind of in the MedTech world. It's specializing in psychedelic mental health.
Yes.
And it's a platform for patients, for clinicians, and for cultivators, all in one. And right now in the U.S., they're making a lot of headway on trying different types of drugs, psychedelic drugs. You know,
Yes.
ketamine treatment is one.
Yep.
They're looking at psilocybin, and none of this stuff is fully legal yet. But
Correct.
I think the next couple of years, a lot of things are going to change.
Yep.
And so I joined a company that is in that space, which is really exciting, because I know from my own experience, and I didn't touch on this, but when I was going through all this, and I'm still using it, is I did use AI. Yes, I have a therapist, and I see my therapist once a week, and I see my treatment team, but I did use AI, and I found it extremely beneficial. Now,
Right.
I don't think it's not the answer.
No.
And
Right.
God forbid, I'm not just going to look at AI, obviously.
Right.
But the place that I was at in my life, it was very helpful to me. And for me, still to today, I'll put in different things that I'm doing.
Right.
And I'll be like, Lisa, that's probably not the rest thing. And if you're going to do this, how are you going to fuel? And you need to heal. You know,
Right.
it's just another place. God, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just another resource. It's another
Platform
tool
or
for
tool.
me.
It's a tool. Yeah.
Yeah, another
Yep.
tool or platform for me to use. But it's really exciting what I'm doing now. It's like waking up for work. I'm so passionate about it,
Right.
because I'm doing something that can really help people.
For sure. And you've had experience in it. You're using your
I've had
experience.
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm using my experience in it, and it is truly going to help people.
Amazing.
And that's, at the end of the day, it's so many people that have struggled with mental illness for all these years. I really do believe we're at a breakthrough.
Yeah.
I think there's some alternative methods out there that can be pretty groundbreaking
Yeah.
for people. And now it's just getting the word out and then making it affordable.
Yep.
I mean, that's
and as
the
long as,
biggest thing, is
especially like with the
affordable.
administration, the way that's going, and as long as it's medically done the correct way,
Yes.
things need to be done, yes, and handled the right way.
Yes. And I think that's the biggest thing, is this is not recreational. This
No.
is medical.
Correct.
So that needs to be done in the correct way. You need to have a facilitator. The beforehand is very important. If you are going to do something, a psilocybin ceremony, your setting is extremely important. Your intentions, the follow up afterwards. I mean, it's stuff that will be is life changing
Yep.
if it's done properly.
And the pre-workup to that. There's a lot of stuff that
And
needs
the
to be
pre-work.
to
Yes.
happen before that too. It's not just I'm going to go and do this and then I'm going to be done with it and it's all done. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, let's do this. It's
Let's
not,
try
it's
this
not
on a
like-
weekend and go do it and we're done. Yeah, no.
No, I think just as a society, we're all looking for that magic pill.
There's not one.
There's no magic
no.
pill.
There's not
no
one on
magic
weight
pill.
loss. There's not a shot. There's
No.
not anything. Nope. Sorry.
No, there's no magic. I mean, these people doing these, oh, don't even get me started.
GLP-1s
You know,
and
the-
everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
no.
GLP-1s, which I think for some people it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I really do think
Right.
it's wonderful for people that have had such a struggle their entire life.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it gets abused.
Yeah.
People take it that don't need it, and then we don't know the long-term effects.
Right.
I mean, we
just
really
like
don't.
anything. Right.
So it's like anything. It's like you don't know the long-term effects.
Right.
You just don't.
no.
And so you got to be careful about the things you're putting in your body.
Right.
And you have to change your habits.
You
There's
have to
no
be healthy.
magic.
You have to be healthy, right? Yes. Just like anything,
Exactly.
you've got to make smart choices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate having you on today. I loved hearing your
Thank
story.
you.
I'm so proud of you. 1 year and 10 days is amazing. Can't wait
I
to
know.
have you on again in a few months and just hear the story and see all the things and see Bridget graduating and all of that stuff.
I know.
So yes.
Oh my God, I know.
Yes.
I know.
And your
Karissa,
family's
thank
coming
you.
to town, so that's amazing to
Yes.
have a graduation.
Well-
So they'll all be there.
I
Yes.
know. My niece graduates. This is a busy time. My
Yes.
niece graduates from CU this weekend.
Amazing.
And then in a couple of weeks, Bridget graduates.
Yes, I know. Oh,
Yeah.
all the things. And I just saw Jeff not long ago, so it's good. You'll have to tell your mom and dad hello and all your family hello. So yes.
I will.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I appreciate having you on.